In the world of academic science, there's kind of this dichotomy sometimes between the strategy of being a successful scientist, well-published, well-funded, and just the inherent, love and pursuit of new scientific knowledge. And sometimes those two things don't necessarily end up, being as parallel maybe as we all wish they were. And we get a little bit, you can get very caught up in that. You can get very caught up in, a lot of the, the competitiveness of science. And, my colleague Howard Stricker and I, often commented that, when you get into this kind of frenzy of the academic world, it's always nice to step back and go and talk to Keerti, who we both refer to often as the Buddha, because, no matter how anxious you are, Keerti's always going to have some just, brilliant insight that really more or less kind of stabilizes you and, grounds you back into the reality of what we're doing and why we're doing it. Having him be able to listen to me, and he often listens to me go on and talking for, hours at a time with saying very little. But then after he's let me go on, he generally can stop and say just, a couple of things that make it all kind of better, and the perspective is back, and you can just kind of move forward. So Keerti and I had worked together. I came to the school as a PhD in epidemiology with the intention to bridge my molecular biology background, which is where I had overlapped the most with Keerti in the past, with my new knowledge of epidemiology. And so Keerti played an important advisory role to me during that time, and was really the person, as a matter of fact, who encouraged me to apply for a faculty position at Hopkins, which is something I don't know that I had previously given much thought to. And as we were kind of, discussing career advice, and he was really kind of helping me to kind of know the things that somebody should think about in terms of what's going to set you on to, a successful career path in academic science. He asked a really interesting question, and it always comes back to me, and he just kind of stopped the conversation and said, "Patti, you don't think you're Einstein, do you?" And it's a typical Keerti statement, which was his way of saying, look, we're not going to necessarily, develop quantum theory, right? But the things we do are fundamental, and they're important, and they impact millions of lives. And so again, it's a matter of Keerti really kind of grounding you into what's important in public health. And that is something that I find to be from Keerti. It's something that I value incredibly in terms of his mentorship for me in a very competitive and driven environment, is that, Keerti always believed this is not about necessarily your career advancement. It's not about your getting more papers out. It's about making a difference in the world. And it is incredibly refreshing and inspiring to have a mentor who believes it, first of all, with all of his heart, and teaches you how to live that as an academic scientist.